All right, everybody, we want to welcome to the Jimmy Stars super actor extraordinaire, Mr. Michael Welch. Hello and welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Fantastic.
Well, you're going to introduce me?
Yes, before we get going, let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey,
What's up, Ron?
Look at you. What are you, 16?
Close.
And never been kissed? You look like a little altar boy. You're an adorable-looking, handsome fella.
Well, thank you, sir. I do look the same as I always have.
I'm sick of this show because on this show come gorgeous young men. I look at them and then I look in the mirror on my way up the stairs from the studio, and I want to shoot myself. You know what it's like for an hour looking at young, handsome people when you're a wretched-looking old man? It's dreadful.
You're a gorgeous old man.
Thank you.
Oh, stop it.
One day, Michael, when you get to be my age, you'll think of my words and say, gee, Ron Russell wasn't so stupid after all.
I will mark that down, sir.
Look at you, how cute you are. Now tell me, you got a girlfriend?
No, wait a second.
I want to ask him
I'm not done.
personal. No, you're going to go on and on about his work, and you know how boring that is.
We haven't introduced the chat room or any of the normal things that have to be done. All right, so we want to introduce you. We do this all the time, so don't worry.
This is why people love us, because we're off the wall. Get ready. It gets better.
We want to introduce you first to the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Michael does age well. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Chad? How's it going, man?
It's all good.
And
Good.
Then we've got a chat room full of people, so say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Chat room. Hi.
Which, by the way, they're all talking about how cute you are, just like he did.
Cute. You know, you're a little young for my daughter, but I have an old maid daughter that I'd like to fix up with a cute guy like you, but she could be your mother probably. And she's going to kill me. She's on our show. She's one of the guest hostesses. She's the actress, Deirdre Sorego, who's a fabulous actress. And she doesn't want to get married. Why is that?
Really?
Yeah, do you want to get married?
He's engaged, I think.
I'm engaged, yeah. So yes, I do.
You look 20 or 19. How old are you?
I know. I'm 28.
Oh, you're an old man, too. Okay.
Yeah.
28's no spring chicken. Before you know it, you'll turn around, it'll be 40, and your dick will be limp, and you'll be pissing in your pants. So welcome to the club.
And you know what? I'm looking forward to that, man. I got to tell you. Because, no, let me tell you why. I would love for that to be less of a factor in my life. You know what I mean? Like it's because when you're young, it's so all-consuming. It's obnoxious.
When I was your age, I dated mostly some women, but mostly men, and they couldn't wait to get their hands in my pants, and I used to resent that. That used to piss me off. I was a very hot, good-looking young boy. I looked like Tony Curtis when I was young. Seriously.
Hold on, let's ask him. Hold on. Do you know who Tony Curtis is? Because you're young.
The actor.
Yeah, the name sounds
like it hot with Jack Lemmon. They've got.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Tony Curtis. So when I was young, with my jet black hair and my eyebrows and my sound of my voice and my accent, everybody thought I was Tony Curtis, and I was very cute. I was an actor, of course, and everybody wanted to go to bed with me. And I used to say, like, don't they want to know if I'm alive? Who I am? Don't you get that feeling? They all want to go for your dick all the time. Leave it alone. Let's find out who I am, and then maybe if you're lucky, you might get a glimpse.
Exactly. No, I'm with you, man. Men are the worst.
Actually, women too. Let me tell you.
I know.
I was at a straight joint in Boca, and this was when I was about 45 or 50, and two women, same age, were coming towards me, and they were elbowing each other. I saw them first. Then when they got to me, I said, ladies, I'm gay. And they turned around and they said, why are all the gorgeous men gay? And I said, because we are. The older we get, the beautiful we are.
Well, exactly. Tony Curtis got Marilyn Monroe in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. So he must have been a good-looking young man.
And I interviewed Tony, and I got to know him well. I interviewed him 3 times, and I loved him. It's my favorite interview. And I asked him, I said, Tony, I read that you said you were gay. He said, no, I'm not gay. He said, I just like sex, and I don't care with who.
Right.
So how long have you been engaged?
I've been engaged since last June, and
married.
We're gonna get married in November, so we have a good year and a half. Yeah.
Okay, now let's get down to business here. As a father, what size ring? What size rock? How big was the diamond? Is it back? I'll get you one better next year, honey.
No. It was a good one. It's like what was it? It was
how many carats?
1.5, I think.
That's good.
Well, 1.5 is a good
She's
start.
only 28.
It's a good start, a 1.5. She's 30. It should be a 2.5.
No, she'll probably be 30 soon. He's
Oh,
Yeah.
she's younger than he. She's probably 25 or something. How old is she? Young?
No, she's 6 months older than me.
Oh, well.
see, she's going to be 30 like a year after
Well,
she gets
then you
married.
better make
Say
a-
40. At 40, you can get her like a bigger one.
You better make
Right.
make a few more movies fast so you can get
I know.
rock.
Exactly.
No, it's not a secret anyway, you guys. If you want to find out more about Michael Welch, because I knew he was engaged because I was on his website, you can go to michaelwelchact.com, and you can see everything about him, and it talks about his future, his fiance,
Okay.
who's his future wife.
Now, let's clear up something here. You and I resent being taken for our looks and body, that we're always getting felt up. When
That's
you
right.
saw your girlfriend for the first time, what did you think? Oh, I wonder what her brain is like. Is that what you thought?
No.
Oh, or did you say, I wonder what her boobs feel like, or her ass feels like, or I'd love to make love to her, like now?
Listen, when I met her, she was working at a furniture store. She sold my parents a couch.
It's convenient.
It was perfect. And I like I said, it's I wish women understood the curse of being a guy. I mean, I was the first to. I admitted to her, that every time she turned around, I was checking her out. The first time I met her, I mean, it's how it is.
I'm going easy. They want me to go easy. They keep saying I get too vulgar. I don't get vulgar. I do guy talk. These are how
Go for it.
talk. Straight guys talk like this when they're in a cigar room. What do you think they talk about? Cartoons? I mean, talk about like this chick last night. She was so big I fell in her. I had a nail of boards in my ass. Those kind of jokes. And they're funny jokes.
Were you hanging out with Henny Youngman or something?
No. I'm from Brooklyn, and that's what we're all about.
Cool.
Seriously, I must know this question for my own nosiness. The first time you saw her in the furniture store, what did you say to yourself? Like, I'm going to marry her? Or, gee, I could fall in love with her? Or, boy, I wish she'd bend over and fluff that sofa one more time.
Okay, so at that point, I had just gotten out of a 6-year relationship for about
Ouch.
about a month and a half fresh. So I was in a mind space to just be like a single guy for like a year,
Still school.
And yeah, and I mean, I immediately thought she was cute. And then we started talking for a bit, and then eventually I mean, I don't know. I went back in and I asked for her number after she sold the couch and everything. So I didn't think this is the woman I'm going to marry. I thought, hey, let's get our feet wet again. And then here we are 5 years later.
There was some kind of a magnetic pull. Now, the one you went with for 6 years, it took you 6 years to find out she was a tramp, right?
That's right. No, listen.
Dumper.
Stop it. She was a great girl. We met when we were 18, and then 18 to 24. I think that's a pretty good run. People have a misconception about this. I feel like any relationship that ends, people immediately go, well, that was an unsuccessful relationship. That was a failed relationship. I think if a series goes on for 6 years, then that's a series that had a good run. I look back at that. I think that was a great relationship. It's just, by the time you're 24, you're a very different person from when you're 18, and it was time to move on. But I have nothing but positive thoughts about that relationship.
When you're 18, you fall in love with your wang. When you're 20,
Yes.
you fall in love with your brain, we hope, in most cases. Not all men. I have friends that are my age, and these old goats still think with their wangs. I mean, they go out and they see a woman. It's like they never saw a woman in their life. Then they're 7 years old, and they're going, oh, look at this bitch. Wow, she's hot. Oh, I'd like to give it to her. Give it to her with what? Your dick don't work anymore. What are you going to do? Finger her to death? I mean, come on. Give Grandpa. Move on, Granny Pooh. Go get a nice old lady with dentures and hope maybe she gives head. Without her teeth.
Hold on. So
Absolutely.
Okay, so how long have you been with the future Mrs. Welch?
Well, by the time we get married, it will have been 5 years.
And how long ago did the first Twilight come out?
Gosh, I think I was 20 when we did the first one.
So when you walked into the furniture store, did she say, "Oh my God, that's the guy from Twilight," or no?
I hate to admit this because it sounds like our relationship was built on rocky grounds, but yeah, that's kind of the impetus of our first conversation. She had just watched New Moon with a friend of hers because they enjoyed making fun of Kristen Stewart. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what she said.
Oh, we only want the truth here.
Hang on.
I would only tell you guys. And then, yeah, so she recognized me from that, and then we started talking. She goes, did you know Taylor Lautner? Because he grew up. So, yeah, we had a whole Twilight-related conversation, and I think she was somewhat of a fan.
Because, I mean, like, first of all, I have to say, because I researched now that you're coming on the show, and I really had no idea that you had a phenomenal career before Twilight. I know since Twilight your career has been great. But you were in a ton of stuff, as a youngster and up until Twilight. But I didn't know that until I researched you. And so when you were with the other girlfriend that you no longer with but had a good run with, like that's kind of like when Twilight came out. How did she handle all that and the fact that there's like a million screaming girls
and
screaming at you everywhere?
Did that have anything to do with the breakup? The fact that now you're a superstar and she doesn't maybe look so important to you?
No, that wasn't it at all. Yeah, no, it was rough. I mean, understandably, I would be, especially because I was doing the Twilight convention circuit at the time, and we were traveling all over the world, and I've told this story before, but like, I mean, I get up to my room by the end of the night, check my Twitter feed, and it would be, come to room 316, come to room 720, So I mean, that's just the reality of it, man. If you're on stage or on screen for any reason, that's just something that's going to be available to you.
I was walking at the mall, and Jimmy picked me up, and he recognized me. He said, "Aren't you the superstar of 1962 black and white television?" And I said, "Yes, I am. I'm Ron Russell, who's been on Charlie's Angels, McKillen and Wife, and a bunch of other TV series. How did you recognize me?"
He said, I did pick him up in a mall.
He said,
though.
"I recognized you by your crutch."
No, I just think because, Twilight, let's face it, first of all, give you props. For a great career, you're 28. Twilight is a phenomenon. It's probably in the top 5 franchises of all time in the history of movies. I think it grossed like $3.5 billion or something. It's such a thing to have a role in a movie that's so iconic that all those people who were fans of that are going to grow up with you and follow your career now forever because you were in their favorite movie when they were, 13 to 20 or something.
Okay, question.
Hang on, wait.
I just want to be, I forget I'm old. You got to remember, I don't remember too well. I have to get it while it's hot. Wait a minute. Oh, do you think being in Twilight and being so famous for Twilight it's a stupid question. I hate when they ask this friggin' question, but I'm going to ask what I want to know about it. Do you think it's going to hurt your career in the future? Because every time people see it, they say, "Oh, that's that Twilight guy."
Nope.
No, that's a perfectly legitimate question, but no, I feel like
question.
First of all, I was in all the movies, but I didn't have like that iconic a role necessarily. I don't know that like people recognize me from that, but I don't know that people associate me with that to the point where they can't suspend disbelief and put me in another type of film or another character, another situation. I think that's something that maybe Rob would have to deal with over time, or Kristen or whatever. But I think they're talented enough listen, if you're talented enough, like you'll move on. You
just said that you didn't think you were noticed that much. Well, who's making all those phone calls to you, my dear friend? Did you have somebody call up and make believe? All those girls that were calling were girls that were fainting from the guy that wasn't noticed in your stupid television show.
No, movie.
Movie. Oh, it's a movie, Twilight?
Yeah,
I never watched that show.
I know. I have all of them on my iPad. I love them.
I swear to God, I would know you if you fell over me.
Actually,
I only know the old bags. I don't know the young kids.
Actually, I think first of all, I think it's really cool because I think your career has really expanded a lot, and I don't think you've been pigeonholed at all because you've done so many different kinds of diverse films. They're all really, really good. It's funny because I guess I didn't know who you were before Twilight. So some of the stuff you did before, now that I go back, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that now because I've seen it. I just didn't know it was you.
Yeah.
And you've kind of like are branching out a little bit into everything because you've done dramas. You're big in horror at the moment with Z Nation. You have a new movie called The Haunting in Cawdor we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, what's that?
You were in
about?
All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, which I had a copy of that like 2 years before it came out. It's an excellent movie. It really didn't make a splash at all. I don't know what happened with when they released it, but that is an amazing movie. What is your favorite? Like out of all the different cool things that you've been in, do you have a favorite?
Unfair question.
That's okay. You can ask.
Never unfair question.
Okay, favorite 3, top 3.
Better.
Well, I can tell you, Mandy Lane, what happened there is that, it's first of all, that is a really awesome movie. It's like an old school grindhouse, slasher flick. It's really cool. But it just sort of got caught up in distribution limbo for like 7 years. And by the time it actually came out, there had been such a reputation built up for it that it just didn't quite have the impact that I think it would have had if it had been released right away.
It was a great movie.
Now another.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I want his shirt. I want to know where he got that shirt.
Oh, this is French Connection.
Yeah,
isn't this cool?
When did you buy it? Recently?
No, I've had this for a few years at this point.
Oh, see that? I was going to go to French Connection and get one. I love it. I could wear that in a minute.
So go.
Yeah, it's cool.
What size is it?
Go back to now. Listen to you. Stop.
Medium, I suppose.
I could wash it.
Do you have maybe like instead of saying what's your favorite thing that you've been in, what's been the best? Do you have a favorite experience, and what movie was it from?
I'm going to answer that, but I want to go back to something Ron said earlier, because you rarely get an opportunity to speak this openly in an interview, so I want to take the chance.
Here, we do what we want. Listen, we're unfiltered, uncensored. You could do everything but use the F word, because for some reason it makes them uncomfortable. A couple of weeks ago, they said I used it 11 times in the show, which is quite a lot. I agree. That's a bit annoying. Especially when I told our guests, "Oh, F you, who you kidding?" And he was a very famous movie star that everybody. And then guess what? We went down for some reason, and we were off the air. And Jimmy said, "Oh my God, he hung up on us because you said F you." And when he came back, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you by saying F you again?" And he said, "No, not at all. I think you're fun." So I got off the hook with that one.
All right, so tell us what is it that you want to bring up?
Okay, so when you were talking about how, was it difficult with the ex-girlfriend, with all the girls and all that? So I was having a dinner with my now fiance. This was a couple years back at this point, and we had a couple glasses of wine in us, and it was one of our like nice dinners. We try to do that every now and then. That's sort of the thing that we do, is go out and have nice dinners every now and then.
Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Keep doing it.
Exactly, and basically, I just acknowledged to her, like, listen, I know that it can't always be easy to see me on film or on TV, like, making out or simulating sex with these beautiful women.
Naked in bed kissing Angelina Jolie. Now get out of that one.
No,
right?
Let him finish.
If you don't aroused, wait, I got to finish. If you don't get aroused, come join our family of gay people.
Right. But I was just trying to acknowledge to her, I can see how difficult that is, and I want to thank you for being such a good sport. And she sort of took a deep breath, and she looked at me and she goes, "To be honest, it kind of turns me on." So I went, wow, I found the right girl. I mean, that's fabulous.
I have to go back to the Angelina Jolie. Angie Voigt, as I knew her, grew up in my house in Beverly Hills. We lived on Spalding, and she lived on Roxbury. My daughter Deirdre, the actress, went to school with Angie as children, and they grew up together. So when I say Angie, if any way you get this, please, honey, don't be offended. I think the world of you. But you have grown into being absolutely the most magnificent woman in the world. And any man that looks at you that doesn't have carnal desire needs a shrink. Now, let me tell you something else about Angie Voigt. Angie, when she was 14, had boobs and those lips. They are fake. Her boobs are real and her lips are real. There's nothing fake on Angie Voigt. So I want to make that clear. Now, of course, she's had her boobs replaced because of cancer reasons.
Right.
But her boobs growing up were gigantic. My daughter Deirdre looked like olive oil. She was skinny. No. Let me tell you, all the kids on the block look like shit. Who was fat, who was crappy. And Angie would walk in my house, this piece of ass with this body on her and this hair face. And she'd lean up against the wall and say, "Hello." And then, you wanted to go crazy from her. I used to always ask her, "Angie, what do you want to do when you grow up? You want to be an actress?" "I don't know." Answer alone made producers whack off, and put her in films. Angie,
listen, man.
I love her, by the way. You should only be so lucky to make a film with her. An actress like that comes once in a lifetime. What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, someone's got to be the most beautiful woman in the world. Might as well be her.
That-
Other than my fiance, of course.
Wait, no,
Right.
no, wait.
Good. Save.
That's good
save,
good
save.
training. I've got my husband Jimmy trained that way too. Angie is not only a great actress, a great beauty, but she's a great director and a great reader of good scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go for Angelina Jolie. Excuse me, Angie.
So hold on, let's go back to Michael Welch. All right, everybody. So we've got Michael Welch,
All right.
Jimmy Star Show. First of all, I had this little thing I like to do before we talk about your new film. And it's basically, I like to mention the different people that you've acted with. You're 28 years old. The list is incredible. I'm going to run through it real quick if I leave out anybody really important. And this way everybody kind of gets to see how fabulous you are.
And I was totally impressed. A man of your age to have these many films under your belt is absolutely incredible.
So here we
you
go,
do great.
everybody.
You're a great actor to get this kind of
And
background.
actually, several of
Thanks,
these
guys.
people we've
You have
had
to
on,
be.
several of these people I put on the list too because I'm big fans of theirs, and we've actually had them on the show recently. But we've got everybody. If you guys remember and know all these people here, we got James Denton, Kevin Pollak, Shawnee Smith. Who I love Shawnee Smith because I'm a big horror movie fan. I have to throw the Twilight people in there. Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, Taylor Lautner, Michael Sheen, Eddie Izzard.
Michael Sheen?
That's not the one you're thinking.
Oh, not the old man.
Charlie Sheen. No,
not-
no. Michael Sheen, the British actor.
All right.
Who always wins all the awards. Eddie
Not my
Izzard,
friend.
Mina Suvari, Amber Tamblyn, Chris Marquette, who we just had on the show recently.
Oh, cool.
I love him.
Chris
Me
Cl-
too.
Michelle Williams, Evan Peters, who's a huge star now. Evan Peters from all the American Horror Story stuff. He's
When did I work with Evan Peters? Oh, American Crime. That's right.
American Crime, which is a great movie, by the way. Ellen
Yeah.
Page, Anna Kendrick, who's like A-list superstar from Twilight.
Forget it.
Don Cheadle, Ryan Gosling. That's
Ryan Gosling. My daughter's
that's like
crazy.
his daughter's
about-
favorite.
Oh, she only wants to marry him.
Joe Montana, who I love. Anna Lynn McCord, who's awesome. Minnie Driver, David
Oh,
Keith,
Minnie Driver.
Peter
I love her.
Hang on, Peter Facinelli and Ashley Green, Jackson Rathbone, Kellen Lutz. They're all Dakota Fanning, Cameron Bright. they're all
Dakota.
Twilight
I
people.
love Dakota. Oh, my God.
Brett Rice. We just had Brett Rice on the show.
Dakota, the next best actress in the world.
C. Thomas Howell, Tom Sizemore, Danny Trejo. We've had on the show. Jeremy London. We've had on the show. John Savage, Eliza Dushku, Todd Stashwick. We had on like 2 weeks ago. Amber Heard, Mary Steenburgen, who I met.
I love Mary.
I met Mary Steenburgen in a Barnes & Noble. She's really
I
nice.
love Mary.
She's the best, man.
I knew her from L.A. many years ago.
Kevin Spacey, Gina Malone,
Kevin Spacey.
Nikki Reed, and James Franco. So like,
Oh,
you have
James Franco.
are you
him.
watching his new show on HBO?
19
11/22/63, where they go back in time.
James Franco.
No, I haven't seen it yet, man. There's so much TV I got to catch up on.
You really worked your petunias off with some
And
good
there's,
people.
There's still a lot more. So did I miss your favorite, or did I miss anybody that's really
Wow.
important that you would want to add to that list?
No, I think you got it all. I'm trying to remember who you were particularly excited about so I can tell you stories. Let's see. James Franco asked me for a cigarette. I didn't smoke. What's that?
Dakota.
Because he was in that's the Twilight movie.
But Dakota,
Okay, no, Dakota. I do have a Dakota story.
she's
Okay.
going to be the greatest actress soon.
She's incredible. I was in an episode of Malcolm in the Middle with Dakota Fanning years and years ago. I mean, this is before I Am Sam. This is before she got famous. And she played my younger sister in the episode. And basically, she didn't even have any lines. Her whole thing was she went around trying to bite one of the other characters. Like, that was her whole character. And
Okay.
and her mom told my mom at the time that, you know what, we've been out here for a while. It's not really working out. I think we're going to go back home. And then like 6 months later, she got I Am Sam and became, Dakota Fanning.
Yeah. She's fabulous. I enjoy her work a lot. Jimmy, were you interested in her in one of your films?
Oh yeah, we were thinking about
Yeah,
it.
they were thinking of putting her in the film that Jimmy's producing now, which is in progress, but she declined for some reason. I don't know why she did.
Because we don't have the money yet. That's a good reason.
No, well, the other reason is it's a second make of a hit film that sold a fortune of money.
And
We're not
so
allowed to say
who's
it,
your
huh?
favorite? No.
We're not allowed
Who's
to
your
say it.
Who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite person that you've ever worked with, or someone who you really? You don't have to be favorite, but who did you really enjoy working with? And make it somebody not in Twilight.
Right. Well, Kevin Spacey was pretty. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, man. And he was so nice.
I love Kevin Spacey. And he's family, he's gay, and that's what makes him even more perfect.
Is that official yet or not?
I think the world knows that.
I mean, everybody knows, but is that?
I haven't slept with him yet. When I do, I'll let
We know.
But let me tell you, my favorite actors I've worked with, Sophia Loren,
Oh,
Know who she is?
of course.
And Tab Hunter. Do you know who he is?
Tab Hunter now.
A beautiful blonde boy, Tab Hunter, gorgeous guy of the 1950s. I forgot, million Battle Cry, a million movies he's made, a big star. And of course, Rock Hudson. I have to say, Rock Hudson was probably the nicest man on any set that I have ever been. He was kind and gentle and good-hearted and good-natured to everyone, even the people that brought him water. And
Yeah.
of course. So and Maggie, my dearest friend in the world since I'm 19. I forgot her name. Oh, Martha Ray, who we call
Okay.
Maggie. You don't know Martha Ray.
I don't know Martha.
I know Martha Ray.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do. Wonderful comedian of the 40s. Dear friend of mine. She and Rocky Marciano, when the prize fighter, when they got married, we went to the wedding, and yes, it was the best boxing match we ever saw. They lasted about a week, and then they divorced.
All right, hold on, go back. So, okay,
Oh,
so
they were
you said
killing
Kevin
each other.
Spacey. So how about who's someone who you think would be awesome that you would like to work with that you have not had the pleasure to work with yet? If you could act opposite any male, give us a male and a female of who you think would be great to act opposite.
Man, there's so many great actors out there. Female wise, I think Kathy Bates has always been one for me.
Yes.
That's
Awesome.
Great actress.
I just think.
She's supposed to be family also. Well,
Yeah.
that's
She
what
is.
the rumors are. I don't make them up.
Listen to Okay, what about a male? If you could have someone play your father or your brother, or who would you want to
Ron
or you
Russell,
were
of
gonna
course,
fight-
to
if you were
play
gonna
his
fight-
father.
If you were going to have to get into a fight with somebody, who do you want to fight on screen?
Wow, who do I want to fight on screen? Well, if we're talking younger brother, I mean, I'd love to go Edward Norton, something like that.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
that'd be-
fabulous.
Who wouldn't want Ed Norton in it?
I know.
That's one of his favorites.
That's
is
my
Ed Norton.
favorite actor in the world. Nobody does
Yeah, it's
Ed Norton. He could do anything. He could play.
a pretty obvious answer.
He could play dead great. But seriously, you didn't want me to play your father. I'm a good actor, and I do play it straight and normal. And I do go according to the script sometimes. Sometimes I really do the script. But I could look like if other two gorgeous guys like us, come on camera, they'll say, that's definitely Michael's dad.
Oh, totally. I can see it.
Of course, you have reddish brown hair and blue eyes, and I have
He's
black
blonde. No, he has blonde hair.
blonde hair and blue eyes, and I have black eyes and used to have black hair. Of course, we look alike.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. You're Irish. Of course, we look alike.
All right,
There you
let's
go.
go this way.
So are you like Don Rickles on set? You just show up and just say whatever comes to mind?
No, what it was I started as an actor at 19 years old in a movie with Sophia Loren called That Kind of Woman. I played a soldier. And my acting career wasn't going so far. And people would say to me, Ron, you're hysterical. And I'd look at them like, what's wrong with these people? Why they think I'm funny? I don't even know I'm funny. I still don't know I'm funny. I just talk a lot and say things that people laugh at. So I decided to take it on a stage. And for 46 years, I worked as a stand-up comic under a different name all over the United States back in the late 50s and early 60s and 70s. And then, of course, I went back into film, television, and now I'm making film still, and I do this show. So
He
I'm
used to have a TV show in L.A. called Set the Record Straight.
Yeah,
where
very,
they interviewed
very-
all the legends of Hollywood.
yeah, for Time Warner
Oh,
Cable.
cool.
It was very famous. I interviewed the legends, the great Jane Russells, Lauren Bacall, Cliff Robertson, all the great stars of yesterday. So I've done pretty good with my career. I found one thing that I have to pass on to you. Don't stick to one thing in our business. Be versatile. Sing, dance, do drama, do comedy, stand on your head. Do whatever you can because somebody's going to want one of those personalities for something. If you are only a drama star or a romance star, they're only going to look for you when they want that character. Now, that's why
Right.
all the actors today change their hair color, if you notice. Who is it that's changing her hair forever? The one I love. Jennifer Lawrence, Mike. Oh, I love Jennifer Lawrence. What an actress. Oh, my God. And what a beauty. If I was straight, I'd be running after her like crazy. But Jennifer Lawrence is a blonde, is a brunette, is a redhead. The reason they do that is to not be typecast in one character. They
Sure.
want people to see them as diversified as they can. So
Which
do
he's,
that.
He's actually doing that. So here's what
I
we're
don't
gonna
know
do.
what he's doing.
I know. I'm
I don't
gonna
think
tell
have I ever seen his work?
Yes, you have.
Oh, good. Did I like it?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad.
Actually, yeah, a movie that you're gonna like, that we're gonna see because it's on Netflix. I just noticed people were tweeting about it.
What movie?
It's called Boy Meets Girl,
Sounds
and
cute.
it's like a transgender movie.
Oh, up my alley.
Where he plays the friend of the transgender woman, right?
Yeah, it is. As far as I know, because I did some research on it, the world's first and only like classically structured romantic comedy starring a transgendered actress.
I saw that movie.
No, we didn't see it.
Did you?
Seen that movie.
I didn't see it
It's
yet.
about you going cross country in a car
No.
with her, and you're her son. She's your
No.
No, this is a young transgendered woman. It's called Boy Meets Girl. It's on Netflix, so we're gonna watch it.
I'm definitely going to watch it, and I'm going to somehow text message you or
Tweet him.
or twit.
Actually,
twat
everybody
you or
tweets about it.
something.
So he's done that, which is a
Yes, please twat me.
I'm going to twat you.
he's done,
tweet you.
some of the movies that I like, everybody, that you guys should see, and then we're going to talk about his new movie. Obviously, you got to go see all the Twilight movies. It doesn't matter how old you are; they're so much fun. I enjoyed them.
I thought it was a television
I have all of
show.
them on my iPad. I watch them all the time. I skip though to certain scenes. I just like certain scenes.
I
and like
thought
to
it
watch
was
them.
a TV
Yeah.
show.
I know you did. You got to see all the boys.
But wait
Love-
a minute! Don't brush me off like that, or else tonight when you're looking for Nookie, you're going to get kicked out of the bedroom. I hate when he's mean on the show, and then at night he's so sweet. Is your girlfriend like that, a bitch sometimes? And then she turns around and she's sweet.
He doesn't
sweet.
have a girlfriend. He has a
His
fiance.
fiance. Well, you're my husband, so did you know Jimmy and I
want
were
to go
married?
through all this. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I do.
I want
Married
to go through all this
3
because
years
we're
ago.
running out of time.
I had a aneurysm in the brain, and I didn't know where I was, and I married him.
There you go. Wait, you guys. Michael's got a
forbid.
great body of work. You guys check it out on IMDb. It's super great. But
Don't get rid of him. I like
I'm not
him.
getting rid of him yet. We haven't talked about his new movie.
Uh,
We haven't
let
done
him
that
stay
yet.
on as long as
But
he
I want
wants.
to talk about some of his other works. You guys need to see All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. You need to see The Last Survivors. It's also got Boo Boo Stewart, who was also in Twilight. An American Crime, Z Nation, the zombie television series that's on TV that competes with The Walking Dead, kind of, but it's way different, and it's really cool. Are you in all the seasons of that? I think they're on the second or third season. I just started watching it.
Okay, well then I'm not. I mean, I can't give you any spoilers, but yeah, I'm in the show. Yeah.
I know you're in because IMDb says 13 episodes. So
I really think.
Well, there you go.
I really think I have to keep an eye on you, because I think you're going to become something very great very soon. With a work record like that, my friend, people in Hollywood are noticing and knowing what's right and what's good and what they want. You have that sort of luck or talent or something that stars have. I know some people in the business 70 years, and they maybe made a commercial, and they go to every go-see, they go to every audition, they do everything. They just don't make it. And I mean, I know one person. Who was it I'm talking about? I forgot who she was. She went somewhere and said something, and they hired her, and today she's #1 major star. Who was it?
I don't know.
I can't think.
Either
now.
way,
It's
hold
a
on.
woman. It's a woman.
Okay, but let's
Oh,
go.
Jane Russell, the famous movie star, broad woman, legendary Marilyn Monroe. Jane Russell, gentleman prefer.
Yeah, of course.
And she was my dearest friend in the world. We hung out together for years. We're buddies. In fact, I named myself Russell after her because I love her so much. And Jane told me, she said I was in a Christian camp at 19. And they walked over and they grabbed her and they threw her in a movie. Howard Hughes did with her cleavage, and she became a star overnight. She said, I never even knew what I was doing. I had never made a movie. I never knew anything. She said, next thing I know, I'm in front of a camera, and they're shooting, and Howard Hughes is shooting me. So it can happen that way.
So hold on.
That's great.
So let's go though. So you got a new movie. It's coming out March 11th. It's called The Haunting in Cawdor. It's got Carrie Elway. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Elways?
Elways, yeah.
Who's everybody, you guys know him from the first Saw movie. He's freaking awesome. He's a horror movie icon. I love the fact too, I just want to commend you again, the fact that even though you're doing horror, you're doing some of everything, so you're not getting typecast in any one
So
genre.
important,
Very,
Michael.
very
so
terrific.
important. Don't be a one-trick pony.
So you got this new movie, A Haunting in Cawdor. It's coming out March 11th. Can you tell us kind of like the plot? Do you know the plot?
No, he can't.
The plot.
Yeah.
Don't tell the plot.
Yes, you tell us what it's about so people.
Did
have
you
an
know
idea.
you lose more audience that way?
No,
A lot
you
of
have to-
people won't like it. Let them go and find out when they sit
they
down.
have to, like,
Okay.
No.
So here,
Okay.
no, that's a good point. That's a good point. But here's what I can tell you: it is Shakespeare infused into a modern day psychological paranormal creep fest. Now, if that doesn't intrigue you to see the movie, I don't know what will.
You know how many people are saying, I'm not going to go see that. It's
No,
too
they
deep.
will.
You got to shut your mouth about that. I believe in that. Listen,
Nah, it ain't that deep. It'll be fine.
a producer friend of mine in California, his name is Gallo. Gallo produced many big motion pictures. I don't know if Gallo is still alive or where he is or if he's still working. I can't think of his first name, but you might know the name Gallo.
Vincent Gallo's dad.
It's Gallo's.
Oh yeah.
very important name in Hollywood. His son's now working. And he said to me, never, never tell anyone what your film is about because you'll lose half your
Now you
audience.
have to. We're going to play the.
Wait a second.
That's interesting. How do you promote a film then?
You have to promote it in a Sly Fox way like Alfred Hitchcock did Psycho. Deet, 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 stab, 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 come see it, boom, boom, bang, boom.
Oh, the first Saw did that too. It didn't really tell you a whole lot.
If I
You wanna play a game?
Wait, if I hear a movie's about a prize fighter, I won't go. I hate those movies. Or if I hear it's about a horse racing film, I won't go. I hate it. If I hear it's about dogs, I'm there. So you're going to lose.
Well, I'm a horror fan, so I love it. So here's what we're going to do.
So
Chad.
Better off not talking about your film, just talking about how wonderful it is, how fabulous.
Well, actually, his
everybody.
publicist brought us on to talk about the film.
I know. But you know what? A smart marketer never sells the goods until he knows who he's selling it to.
Okay, so
So say it in general.
we're going to show the trailer.
No,
for
first of
everybody.
all, he did a very good job
I know he did.
because he didn't tell us anything.
Right.
He said a lot of words, but he said nothing. I still don't know who the frig this film.
Hey, that's the key behind Hollywood, man.
Hey, look, Michael,
Nothing of substance.
No, you did a good
did
job.
a
So-
good job.
Hold on one sec, Chad.
I
I
kept
want
it.
to go see
Chad,
it
do you,
now.
do you have the trailer?
Absolutely.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, Michael. Hang on the line, but what I want you to do is you introduce it for us. We're going to play the trailer for everybody so they can watch it, and then we're going to come back and talk about it for a minute, and then we'll let you go.
Okay, sounds good. So just
You don't have to go. Let him stay. He's fun. I like him.
Okay, go ahead, Michael.
all right, everybody. This is the trailer for A Haunting in Cawdor coming out to theaters March 11th, and it'll also be released on all the major VOD platforms. So check it out, and I hope you like it. How was that, Ron?
Good. Very good. Excellent. Like strip teaser. Don't do too much. Little by little.
Okay, here we go.
Working at the Barn Theater.
Hi, well, welcome to Cawdor. Want to introduce you to the camp coordinator, theater owner, Mr. Lawrence O'Neill.
Welcome, Barn Theater. Word about security. As you can see, there are no fences here, no barbed wire, no watchtower. That's because they're not necessary. We're over 20 miles from the nearest town. You will be caught. So put the idea of escape out of your minds.
I've been hearing things.
What kind of things?
That's Carrie Elways.
Things that may not be real.
We focus mainly on, behavioral therapy, psychodrama.
You're gonna cast that young girl as the queen, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what Vivian was in for?
No, I haven't gotten to her file yet.
Murder. She was 15.
Play is cursed, Larry.
Come on, that's just superstition.
You really think it's a good idea to cast her in the role of a psychotic murderer?
The whole point is to get these kids to work through their trauma on the stage.
Going to regret this.
Ooh, looks good.
There you go, everybody.
That's a great trailer because it tells nothing, scares the shit out of you, hell out of you.
Right.
There goes more fines. We're going to be paying fines for the rest of the week.
So how was it working with Carrie Elways?
Oh man, he's so great. I'd worked with him one other time before too in a movie called Hansel and Gretel Get Baked. He had a little
Get baked?
cameo in that. Get Baked, yeah, it's kind of a stoner comedy.
Means drunk or stoned.
Stoned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to be a hippie. We invented those words, folks.
Right.
Do you know what rope?
No.
Do you know what rope means? Rope.
Rope?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we used to say, let's go home and smoke some rope.
Oh, okay.
See, you don't know those words, Jimmy Starr.
I don't know those words.
Rope,
First of
rope,
all, I don't
pot,
do drugs.
marijuana, weed, grass.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Kill.
You got it.
Listen, you hang around. You're
yeah.
not going to leave us because Jimmy likes this bullshit about your career. I think it's wonderful. I like the fact that people know who you are and what you see. But my fans that watch our show want to know about you, and that's why I do my interviews at a personal. The girls swoon, the guys get crazy, and I get wonderful emails saying, Ron, how you handle these people is amazing. They're like your best friend. We feel like we're having coffee with you and Michael, and that's what I like. Now, I want you to tell me, you met the girl in the furniture store. What was the first date, and how much did you spend?
The first date was like 8 hours. It went on for a while because what we did is that I picked her up. She lived in Santa Clarita at the time, which is kind of a suburban town outside of LA.
Clarita.
You know Santa Clarita?
I lived in Stevenson Ranch.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, you know.
Top of the mountain.
Nice. So I picked her up. I took her to LA. We got lunch somewhere, and then we ended up just kind of hopping to a few different locations. We went there for lunch. We went somewhere else for a drink. We went somewhere else for.
You don't know where you went? Where'd you go?
I'm trying to remember. It was okay. No, I'll tell you.
That's a bad sign.
No, it was Earth Cafe.
Who?
Earth Cafe in.
Okay.
You know Earth Cafe.
Sure I do.
And then we went to the Smith House, which was in. It's relatively new, so I don't think you would know it. But it's this great little beer joint.
And then
what's that, Ron?
I'm out of LA 5 years now, but we're moving back to Palm Springs this April.
Oh, cool, nice. And then we went for sushi at what's it called? I think it might actually be called ROKU.
I hate that sushi shit. Ugh.
And
dead raw fish floating in a river. Give me a break.
Oh, come on, it's great.
Ugh.
And then we went back to what's that?
So that's why you're nice and thin.
What? I'm fat.
No.
Yeah, right.
I don't eat sushi.
I know, but he's
I
young.
eat pasta. Go ahead. Then after that, where'd you take her? You didn't take dancing or anything? You don't dance?
No, we were getting it. No, I'll dance, whatever. But we were.
Sing? Are you?
Listen, I do karaoke. Yeah, I do that. I mean, I didn't want to scare her off on the first date.
No, but if they were to make a movie and they needed you to play Elvis Presley, sort of, could you?
I don't know, man. I'd have to take some lessons. I can Russell Crowe my way through a musical if I need to, but
it's important to sing in our business because musicals I know are coming back.
I hear you.
Not musicals in my day, but the new musical, which is some kind of weird thing.
Like Tom Cruise did.
No. Like a guy slits another guy's throat, and the guy suddenly with the slit throat starts singing through his slit throat, and it sounds like this.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's good.
But anyway, so we ended up just going to some different spots, and then we ended up, back in my car for about a half an hour, and then I took her home.
Now, come on, we made out in cars.
Yeah. Well, use your imagination.
I'm not going any further than making out because I want to keep it clean.
Right.
Yeah, making out is nice, and she makes out good. Yeah. Good kissing.
Oh, she's the best. She's actually got those Angelina Jolie type lips, the ones that sort of go like this. You know what I'm talking about?
You lucky in so many ways.
Oh, forget it.
God.
So wait, what does she do now? Because I thought on your website it said, I forgot what it said, but it says she did something on your website. What does it say she does?
Yeah, she's a set dresser.
There we go.
And
a set dresser at the studio.
Exactly, yeah. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say or not.
How'd you get her union card? I understand those cards are hard to get.
She's been working on it. She's on track to get into the union by I think June of this year.
She doesn't have to do 8 years of apprenticeship like before.
She found a program through a community college in LA, which was essentially a fast track into the union.
Is she a minority?
No.
Because minorities get in quicker than anybody else. It's amazing because I know that the wardrobe dresser and that's a very hard union to get into. Very hard.
Set dresser is different than wardrobe dresser.
No, wardrobe, set dresser, it's all falls under the same umbrella of whatever it is. They're all the same union. They're just different jobs. I was with Universal and I did makeup, as you know, for Nick Marcellano and Dick Smith. But I would have had to work an 8-year apprenticeship before.
They probably changed it though,
before I was able to really work on a star's face, other than just mopping and doing little crap. So that's why I said this is not for me. I better
That's
go back
cool
to
though.
acting.
Did she have an interest in that before? Did she get that interest because you're in the movies, or that was something she always liked to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, she went to school for design, and that's sort of how she ended up in the furniture store. And and then after a while, I mean, yeah, she saw me in the industry. Her dad is a Teamster.
I'm having a brain attack. She's a set dresser, I'm not thinking totally. She's a set designer. She designs sets. She's not in this.
Yeah.
The hell am I talking
That's
about?
what I told you, but you didn't listen.
Well, I didn't. I had what you call a brain fart for a minute. Oh,
no, she's in the same union as like props and production design, that kind of thing.
An easy union to get. Not easy, but that's an okay. Set design is easy because they always want the newcomers to push the furniture.
Right, exactly.
To do the dirty jobs they don't want to do. Like, hey, could you go on the ladder and go up there and fix that chandelier? The bulb is out.
That's right.
You gotta love it. Well, I think that's fabulous, and I'm happy that you guys found each other. And so, if you could have been in any movie.
Here it goes with the movies again. Get into the personal stuff.
That tells a lot about when you ask.
I want to know. Look, he's handsome. He's young. He's in a romance.
No, if you could have been in any movie ever made in history, and you could have played any character, who would you have wanted to be?
Stupid question that's been asked a million times by nobody.
Terrible. Has anybody asked you that before in an interview?
Always.
I've never been asked that. No. Nope.
Nobody asked this
You're
question.
serious.
That's my question.
Serious?
The only people who ask that question are people who are copying me. Okay, go.
Any movie, any role. You know, the first thing that's coming to mind is LaMotta in Raging Bull, the De Niro character, man.
Wow.
That's a very tough character.
No kidding.
You got to remember, he's from Brooklyn. He's from New York. He knows the talk. He knows the walk. He didn't have to do much in that film, but know his lines and be himself. For a character like you, who's very waspy and clean-cut and altar boy,
right?
You'd have to work your ass off and really learn to talk and to walk. Now, you know, a lot of these actors are doing fabulous work. Like me, if I had to play a punk from Brooklyn, I could do it easy, just be myself. You know.
Well, but that's
Lord, a little difficult.
Well, but that's the thing, man. It's what's more important to me than anything else in something like that is authenticity. So yeah, I'd work my ass off, and you know, in fairness, I mean, you know, you haven't seen my works, you haven't seen kind of what I'm able to do. So I think with enough.
I've been around. Look, I'm 52 years in the business. I've seen actors come and go and come. I basically know what moves. I know what works and what doesn't work.
Sure.
It's something you learn after a while. And I know that if I were auditioning for something, I would call you back. Definitely, there's something about you that I would call back that I find interesting, and I'd want to probe it and say, okay, what is it about you we find interesting, and can we use it in our production to make it happen? And that's what's good. You have an interest, a doorway to interest, which most actors don't have.
So all your fans are listening, and all the people who want to be actors. Do you have formal training, or did you just start going to auditions and learn your craft as you went along, or did you actually study someplace?
No, I learned as I went along. I mean, I started when I was 10.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You knew he didn't study because he doesn't act like one of those phony shits. I tell my daughter.
Aren't those people the worst?
I hate them. I never allowed my daughter. My daughter Deirdre's been acting. She's made about 7 or 8 films. And my daughter, I told her, Deirdre, don't you ever take an acting lesson because Daddy never did. It ruins you. It takes away whatever natural juices you have or sugar coating. What does she do now at this age? She's in an acting class. And I said to her, so what does the teacher think? She said, well, he put me to the head of the class. He said, I'm the best of all. I'm the most professional. I said, doesn't that tell you something? You don't necessarily need an acting teacher if you got what it is. And I think going to an acting class can absolutely kill, the instructor can kill the very thing that will make you a superstar. Like Angie didn't go to acting classes. She was an actress when she was 14.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I mean, just some people are.
What about though? Like, I know, but sometimes you have to. Like, do you ever have to do accents? Like, what if you have to do accents? Somebody has to teach you. You have to have a.
It's a talent. You have an ear for it.
Can you do you do voices in any of your movies?
I do. In Boy Meets Girl, I'm Southern.
Okay, we're gonna do that tonight.
Okay, cool.
Definitely going to let you know what I think. How many years ago did you do this film? Early
3.
work. I
No.
won't critique early
No, it's
work.
not.
Two or three. No. It's. I'm really proud of this one. So I want honest feedback, man. I'd love to hear
Very
from you.
good following. I noticed that people tweet to you about how what an impact the movie had on them all the time and stuff. I was retweeting a bunch of them. So obviously, it's a movie that has really like touched a lot of people.
Because it's not fair to critique anyone's early work. Now tell me, Mike, aren't you enjoying this show?
This show? Oh, it's the time of my life. What time is it? I mean,
No, wait a minute. Isn't it fun? Don't you feel like we're all buddies sitting in a bar having a beer with some pretzels? I mean, don't you really feel comfortable?
I prefer this over any other stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I listen to.
Right.
So, why wouldn't I also want to participate in this? It's far more interesting. I agree.
If I did an interview, and your next film will be, let us know, Michael. I mean, who the fuck? Oops, I go away with another fine. Oh my God. iHeart's going to crucify me. We're iHeart Radio, also.
Okay. Do they really find you?
Well, that's what
not right
that's
now,
what our network is threatening us.
Because we're getting bigger and we're getting a lot of people like listening.
Yeah, do you know who? Do you have any idea who we are? We know all about you. You don't know about us.
He said he listened to our show.
Oh, good. Then you know how crazy we are. We're the number one.
He knew about you ahead of time.
Yeah. We're the number one. What is this shit called? Web show in the world. We are. We're big shit, buddy. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hey, listen, man. I can tell. I mean, anything Jimmy Star related, promoting the fact that I was going to be on, got like 2,000 retweets. So I see the power, man. It's all right there.
We have over 10 million listeners and viewers, so you're going to be all over the place like caca. But
and by the way, may I say something to iHeartRadio? If the fact that you're getting popular is indicative of what got you to this point, so I wouldn't start censoring like what made it popular in the first place. Like, don't start making adjustments to the show just because you have a bigger listenership. You got the listenership because you do what you do.
I agree, but many of we have so many stations that carry us throughout the world, not the country. Some folks are offended by my language or my conversation, so what I say to them is, get the fuck off the air. Don't listen to us.
Right.
We don't need you. We have 10 million people. iHeart and, of course, what is our station?
W4CY.
W4CY, that I've been with for like 3 years now. Dean said, Guy, you have to clean it up. They're complaining. You can't use that language.
Once in a while,
he's got a filthier mouth than I am. His show's called The Pipe Man, and his show is filthy.
It's not. You never listen to
Pipe Man doesn't curse.
No.
In real life, all he does is curse.
I know, but that's only in real life.
Every other word's a
curse.
I mean, he cleans up on the radio.
Everybody does because you can't do it. You get in trouble.
I don't. I'm 75 years old. I've earned the right to be who I am and say what I want. And if they don't like it, let them kick me off. Because there's always somebody out there that's going to want me because they know what I did for this show and what I could do for my own show. So there you go, everybody. I'm independent. I'm like Donald Trump. I don't give a shit. I say it. You don't like.
Self-funding.
Listen, don't you agree with that? If you're saying something and somebody says, "Excuse me, I object," what do you say? Then don't listen.
I think being offended is one of the stupidest human reactions that we have.
I agree 100%.
Unless it's really mean, evil, downright rotten, horrible, corrupt crap that they're saying, like, I wish you cancer and stuff like that, then you got to beat the shit out of them and kill them. But anything other than that, roll with it, laugh with it. It's meant in fun. It's called theater and entertainment. And when you open up your laptop and come onto our show, you want to be entertained. And if I offend you, too fucking bad.
Mm-hmm. I think that's 3 now. I think you have a window for 8 more.
Don't think I'm supposed to only allow 4. I think so. Before we go, I'll throw my last one. No, but really, don't think when we go off the air, they're not going to hold us on and say, "Ron, you did it again. You said 4." Blah, 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 blah. They yell at me all the time. I'm so abused
in the chat room. They're saying it's only language, so there you go.
Of course, and you know what that F word means: fornication without somebody's ass. I mean, something like that. What does it mean, fornication?
Fornication under the consent of the king.
So what's so dirty about the king? We got an F under the king. So F the king. I mean, what's the big deal?
All right, here's what we're gonna
Bitch,
do.
bastard,
Hang on.
bastard. We know what it is. It's a thing without a father, and a bitch is a thing without a mother.
Here's where we're gonna go. All right, everybody. So this is Michael Welch, you guys. He's got a brand new movie, Haunting in Cawdor. It comes out March 11th. Check it out. If you want to find out what he's doing, check out his movies on IMDb. Lots of them are on Netflix. His TV shows. Watch Z Nation. Go to michaelwelchact.com, and you can find out what's also going on with him. And he's on Twitter. It's really him on Twitter. So follow him. He's at Michael, MichaelWelchact, right?
That's it, man.
So follow Michael Welch Act on Twitter. I almost did your Skype by mistake. I was looking on my note. I was like, no, that's not right. I want everybody calling you. So
Are we signing off with Michael?
Yeah, we're signing off.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
I want you to know, I have a very small list of favorite people we've had on this show, and you've made that list. I think you're a wonderful, young, healthy American male who can show the world and others what it's like to be a young, healthy American male. I wish all the young people follow you, look like you, and speak like you, and think like you, because you are a credit to your generation. And please come back on our show. And if you need an MC for your wedding, I gladly do it for free.
Well,
Clear the room, and you'll only be there with your bride, but, you can... Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna get a new business card saying "young, healthy American male" and a credit to my generation. That's the nicest thing you could say to me.
It was meant sincerely because we have so many troubled young people today. Gay people committing suicide because of what society does to them. We have too many drugs killing too many of our young people. We have too many of our young people going to war and coming back in pieces and not being cared for. We really have abuse to the young today in so many ways. And we need people like you. We need hero people like you to stand forward and say, hey, listen, be strong, be like me. I could be like you. I could be a dope addict and lay in the street. I could be a jerk and go rob banks and stab and mug women. I don't do those things because I'm a decent, young American man. This is my point. You're somebody to look up to, and I'm not saying to blow smoke up your ass because I don't do that to anybody. Jimmy knows that. If anything, I say bad. I really mean it. I think Donald Trump would adore you, and he would hold you in his arms while he was talking to people and said, this is the America I want to bring back, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, as long as he takes me to Mar-a-Lago afterwards, I'd be fine.
I've been to Mar-a-Lago,
we've been there.
And I've met Donald. I met Donald. He was doing a $50,000 membership to Mar-a-Lago, and my friend Perry Winkler, who had like 4 or 5 husbands, was looking for another one. And she said, let's go to Mar-a-Lago because they're all multimillionaires that are there. When we got there, the old man was sleeping, and she's a hottie-toddy, so it didn't work. We went in the library where other people were, and Donald was milling about speaking to people, and he came over and he spoke to us. And he was very gentle, very kind, very, very, very a terrific guy, like down to earth, Joe Blow from Brooklyn. And then he said to us, what would you like to drink? And I said, I'd like a vodka, whatever. And my friend Perry so stupidly said, I'd like water. I'm thirsty. So this came. Now, driving home, I hear Perry scream in my car. I said, Perry, what's the matter? She said, whatever. I can't believe Trump asked me what I want to drink, and I said water. I didn't say Dom Perignon. I'm slipping. Said, oh, my girl, you are. You don't know how to hustle those rich guys anymore. Trump, in my book, was a sweet, nice guy. What will you do as a president? God only knows.
Right. No, I've heard that. I've heard he's lovely one-on-one. Yeah.
He's down to earth. He's a regular Joe. He doesn't put on airs. He doesn't act like I'm rich. He's a really nice fella. I liked him personally. As a president, well, if we really have to fight ISIS, I would like a crazy bastard like Trump to be at the lead because he's nutty enough to blow them all to pieces and get rid of them and kill them. Whereas the other presidents, I'm afraid, are afraid of oil, afraid of this, and ISIS will destroy us eventually. God forbid. Never happened. We're Americans. We beat everybody's ass. Yay!
All right.
Exactly.
That's what we got to do. So we want to thank you for coming on the show, everybody. Again, go to michaelwelchact.com. Check out all his movies. He's fabulous. We really do want to thank you. I'm sorry we kept you on a lot longer, but we had a great time. You were fabulous.
Our audience loved it.
It was fun, guys.
We wish you all the best and the best in your wedding and in your marriage.
Yes. Meanwhile,
and
in the
career.
chat room, you should read the comments. They love you more now than when you first came on because now they know who you are, not just your screen persona. They know Michael, the nice guy that met a girl in a furniture store and is getting married, just as regular as my audiences are. No Hollywood,
Exactly.
no baloney.
That's right. We love it. So thank you so much. Also, I should just say we want to thank October Coast. I guess they're the publicists for A Haunting in Cawdor, for helping set this whole thing up. We want to thank you again for coming on the show. Say hello to your beautiful fiance. Have a great time with everything. And if you ever have anything you want to promote, let us know. We'll bring you back on.
And I know
awesome, guys.
I know a jeweler in Brooklyn who can get you a 2 carat at a good price.
Oh, but I went straight downtown to the Diamond District. I got something wholesale. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Good for you. That's
right.
me.
Thanks, Mike. Have a
Bye,
good one.
Mike.
Bye. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Great meeting you.
You too.
Nice. What a terrific American he is. Young American. It's a pleasure, such a pleasure for me to see people that remind me of my generation. In my day, all the guys were like this. Clean cut, down to earth, met my girl in the furniture store.
Hardworking.
Took her to a restaurant, then I made out with her in a car. That's everything that we did. There was nothing off color or terrible. He's a nice fella. I really enjoyed this interview tremendously, folks. It was a fun interview for me as well as I hope it was for you. Now we're going to talk about first.
We're going to take a music